Hello everyone, welcome back to my video on the NotPetya attack that happened back in 2017. My name is Andrew Cheng, a student at Metropolitan State University, and this video is a part of the Cyber 362 Networking Protocols and Analysis course led by Rohit Tandon. Quick disclaimer, due to the nature of the presented topics, this video is solely for educational purpose and that I am not liable for any damage that could be caused using these demonstrations. The NotPetya attack was a highly destructive attack that began on June 27, 2017, which targeted systems and networks in Ukraine before spreading globally. The reason why it's called NotPetya is due to its assumed similarity to a group of shared malware at the time called Peta, which shares almost the same similarity to NotPetya. Peta, on the other hand, was ransomware, which is a type of malware that locks a user out of their computer or system until the user pays the attacker to unlock them out from their system. However, Peta did this by encrypting the hard drive files through injecting the master boot record or the MBR with malicious code, which after restart encrypts the hard drive files and leaving the files scrambled and unreadable for the user. But before they're first able to do this, they had to be able to get admin privileges, which often took the form of phishing emails that had malicious attachment, often in the form of PDFs or other such files, which when opened request for admin access. If accepted, Peta then gained access to admin privileges of the device or system, such as in its name as ransomware. In order to unscramble the decryption, you need a decryption key, which the attacker usually had, and after paying the attacker usually gives the user the decryption key or asks for more money. The difference between Peta and NotPetya, however, is in its distinction, where Peta was considered ransomware, NotPetya was considered malicious malware disguised as ransomware. Quite similar to Peta, however, where both of them required admin privileges. NotPetya, however, achieved this through a different way, a malicious update to a software disguised as a standard one. After requesting admin access when accepting the malicious software update, NotPetya then runs their injected malicious update, which extracts the admin logins and then gains privileges. After gaining privileges, NotPetya then gains access to the master boot record along with access to other Windows utility used to manage system networks and users, which they then use to infect and encrypt other systems. After achieving their goal, they then pull a ransomware note, which asks the users for money in exchange for getting access back to their system. It accomplishes this by redirecting. So, how did NotPetya achieve this? It accomplished this by redirecting the update of legitimate software onto a different IP address, which contained the malicious update that caused NotPetya. Through this malicious update and running the update through privileged acceptance, NotPetya then installed Mimikits, which then gathered the admin login and credentials, after which they take advantage of an exploit on an unupdated system called Eternal Blue or Eternal Romance, which was often used to run executable code from a remote location. While also having admin privileges, they then take advantage of the fact that they have control over a network of systems to then spread through computers through Windows legitimate programs called PS Exact and the WMI. With those elevated privileges, they do something quite similar to Peta, where they inject malicious code onto the master boot record in order to restart and encrypt the device. What first started off this NotPetya attack was a redirected update for a software called Medoc, which was a Ukrainian tax and accounting software widely used by businessmen in Ukraine. The attack first started off with a web phishing attempt for the software company, which asked for credentials in order to access the web page. After getting the stolen credentials, NotPetya and the attacker then logged into the Medoc server and started modifying the configuration file that redirected to the correct update server onto their own web server, which contained the malicious update for the software. After installing and updating the malicious update for the software, NotPetya then runs the program Mimikits to scrape the system of credentials in order to spread to other systems. Mimikatz, a tool developed by Benjamin Delpy, a French security researcher, is used to extract passwords and authentication data and storing it in plain text. It achieves this by reading the local security authority subsystem service, or the LSASS process, which handles user authentication, storing credential data, and enforcing security policies. However, for NotPetya to achieve this, it first has to have admin credentials, which it achieved through malicious update and the user updating the software with admin acceptance, after which NotPetya and the attacker now have access to a list of user authentication and credential data, which they use to spread their malware. Eternal Blue and Eternal Romance both exploited the same exploit, which allowed them to be able to remotely execute code on another device or system without admin authentication. In this case, Eternal Blue handled device-level code execution, while Eternal Romance handled system-level code execution. MS-17101 was a critical vulnerability that was patched 3 months prior to the first attack by Windows. However, some systems weren't up to date yet, which allowed NotPetya to take advantage of this vulnerability in order to achieve their goal. After getting the credentials, in order to spread NotPetya then executes the two codes shown here, with the top code accepting the user's window token gathered from Mimikatz, and the bottom code accepting users' credentials also gathered from Mimikatz in order to spread to other connected devices on the network. After NotPetya gains these elevated privileges and spreads to other connected devices, it then sets a task to restart the computer with a delay of 1 to 2 hours. It also then modifies the master boot record, or the MBR, with malicious code, in which after the computer restarts, it encrypts the hard drive, keeping the encryption key until after the encryption is done. After it's done, it then deletes the encryption key, locking the user out from those encrypted files and directories, after which it then displays a note, quite similar to a ransomware note, which is what led to its misconception as a PETA ransomware attack. Due to the way in which it spread and how fast it spread, it caused damages beyond Ukraine and onto the global market, causing up to an estimated amount of $10 to $15 billion of damages, which was caused by this attack. And with its maliciousness in encrypting data and then deleting the key, most computers and devices were rendered useless until fixed, causing communication blackouts, whether that be digitally or through communications, such as phones or wirelessly. NotPetya was a dangerous malware, but also a rather easy one to protect and to prevent. It first started off from a phishing attempt, so it is important to know that you are being phished and how it looks like. Be aware of what someone could do with your credentials and the damages it could cause to you and those around you. It is also important to stay up to date, as updates keep your computer safe from vulnerabilities that were found recently and those in the past. These vulnerabilities can be exploited and will be if you give someone the chance. The last way that you could do to possibly prevent malware and ransomware is to install antivirus software, as antivirus software is there with the aim to protect you and your computer or device from harm, whether that be malware, ransomware, vulnerabilities, and such. It's a good and easy way to prevent yourself and your data from being used against you. These are my reference that I used to research the NotPetya attack, and thank you for watching the video.